What's good, y'all? It's Crisco Fontaine. Appreciate you for pulling up to the stream. I really do appreciate it. I really do from the bottom of my heart. We're about to get it started shortly, but hey, real quick, if you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, por favor. And then hit that bell right next to it so that you get notifications when I upload things of that nature. If you get any fulfillment, get any entertainment value whatsoever from this stream today, and whenever I'm streaming, hit the like button. And if you don't rock with it, you can hit the dislike button too. It's cool. It helps the channel either way, man. Okay? So feel free to comment, chat. I'll try to be as interactive as possible. Once again, I do appreciate you for tuning in to the stream. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, thank you. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Whatever is in there, I love you. Let's get into the stream. Welcome back to Coach Crisco Fontaine, aka Coach Crisco. This is weird. I ain't been over here in a minute. I do not be feeding this channel, but I am back. I'm going to try to be as consistent as I possibly can. I got another channel that I'm juggling, so appreciate you for pulling up. If you're watching the playback, I appreciate you watching the playback. This is going to be a quick one because the playoffs officially kicks off today. Because I don't count the play-ins. Even though the play-ins this year was decent. Some of them. The games last night, not so much. I did pick Charlotte over Orlando, and I picked Golden State over Phoenix, just, for sentimental reasons. Probably pans out better for Golden State to not have won that game anyway, so because they weren't going to do anything against OKC. Phoenix isn't either, but at least it puts Golden State in a better position to potentially get a high lottery pick that they could potentially parlay for a bigger name, because I don't think a draft pick will help them. But it's tough to see Steph and Dre and even Steve Kerr go out like that. Such a promising season. Obviously, I'm a Warrior fan. Well, I'm a Steph fan, so it was tough to see that, but it is what it is, man. All dynasties come to an end. This was Steve Kerr's last year on his contract. We don't know if he's going to re-sign and try to go out with the rest of the crew, or if this is just like the writing on the wall. Like, Steve is going to be gone. Dre is probably not going to come back. I still think that Golden State is going to try to make a push for Giannis. And if they do that, then Dre got to go. He got to bounce. So that could very well be give me a second. That can very well be what we saw last night was the ending of that. Clay going, so it's not like, it hadn't already started. So it hadn't really been the same since that 23 season. Was it 23 season? Was last year Clay was there? Or 24? 23. Because that was after the punch and stuff. So but no, this one is going to be a quick one. The games kick off 12 Central. Right now it's almost 11 a.m. Central here, 10:51. So I want to go to the bracket. Let me pull up the bracket. This season has been a little weird for me. I've kind of watched, and I've passively been keeping up with the season, just not really that consistently. So that's why you hadn't really seen a whole lot of content on this channel, just because I hadn't really been bothered to really keep up with it. But the playoffs is always when I tune in. Even I think most people are like that. I guess you could say now, as I've gotten older, I'm more of a casual NBA fan. I'm not just like a diehard. I think once it got to the point where I was like older than 85% of the league, things started to look a little different for me. So I want to pull up the bracket, and here we go. Can I zoom? Give me a second. Let's full screen that. And I know I'm going to have to move my cam. All right, so let me just pull up this bracket. Let me get my duckhead ass out the way. Bada boom. All right, so short and sweet. Um, well, first off, before I get into the bracket, I have an idea. Um, in regards to the plan. Now, I see a lot of people don't really like the play-in, um, the idea of the play-in. It's like, okay, it has been historically top 8 make the playoffs. Play-in seems like it's just another way for the league to make money. This year, the play-in tournament, I think was decently successful. Decently. The only reason why I say decently is because the Eastern Conference really didn't need it. Philadelphia was 6th, Orlando was 7th, Charlotte was 8th, and Miami was no, I'm sorry. That's at 6, 7, 7. 6, 7. The Sixers were 7th, not 6th. The Sixers was 7th, Orlando was 8th, Charlotte was 9th, Miami was 10th. And that's exactly how they fell. So you had your 8-9 matchup with Charlotte and Miami. Charlotte won that. You had your 7-8 matchup with Philly and Orlando. Philly won that. And then you had Orlando blew the brakes off of Charlotte, and they just held serve. So 7 and 8, the way that they fell was the way that it fell after the play-in. So in a sense, you didn't need the play-in in the East. Western Conference is a little different because if you look at the Western Conference, if you see how it transpired, right? You got the Suns that fell to the 8th spot, but they were at the end of the season at 7. And because they lost the 7-8 matchup to Portland. So you have a Portland Trailblazer team that has a worse record at the 7th seed than the 8th seed Phoenix Suns. I don't agree with that. I think that's bogus. I think it's bogus. I think that if you're going to have the play-in, the 7th seed shouldn't be involved. And I think that's the general consensus that I see from people that have an issue with the 7th seed being involved in the play-in. If you're going to do it, 7th seed, you shouldn't have to play for your spot. The only way that you should have to play for your spot if you are 7th seed is if, in the case in the Eastern Conference, 7 and 8, Philly and Orlando, they finished with the same record. And I guess Philly had the tiebreaker. That's why they finished 7th. I can see you having the play-in if 7 and 8 finishes with the same record. Then maybe they can play each other for the 7th seed. Because in most cases, you might want to avoid the number 1 seed in the conference. In this event, in the Western Conference, I mean, it's pick your poison. You got OKC, you got San Antonio. I mean, I guess OKC is the worst of the evils because they've been there. They won the chip last year, reigning MVP, probably 2-time MVP. Who knows with Shea this season? But I mean, you got Wemby, you got the alien. So it's like you pick your poison over there. And it really in the East, I don't know. You might want to see Detroit before you see Boston. If you are a 7th or 8th seed, you might not want that 7th seed. You might not want to see Boston. But in regards to the 7th seed being included in the play-in, I don't think you should include it. I think if you are the 7th seed, you are the 7th seed. Only included in the play-in if the 8th seed finishes with the same record as the 7th seed. Outside of that, if that doesn't happen, then you can have a play-in potentially for the 8th seed. Only if 9 and 10, or even not even 10, you could just be 9. I'm going to try to explain this because I explained it to myself earlier and it made sense. So I'm going to try to explain it. If let's take the Western Conference. Let's go back. Let's take the Western Conference. Actually, let me do something real quick. I want to pull up the standings because the Western Conference was a little bit different. Everybody in the East at least finished over 500. All 10 teams. But in the West, it's a little bit different. So let me move me out the way. Give me a second. So in the West, you see it. Golden State shouldn't be nowhere to be found. 37 wins for the Warriors. Okay? So in this event, how I would do it is Portland. See Portland 42-40. Phoenix is 45-37 because they won that matchup. They jumped them up there. Phoenix was the number 7 seed. So how I would do it, Phoenix, see you 45-37, you're solidified. You shouldn't have to play for your spot. You are the 7th seed. Portland being 42-40, the Clippers were 42-40. I would only have the Clippers being able to play for a play-in spot. So I would have the Portland Trailblazers against the Los Angeles Clippers, and the winner of that is the 8th seed. Phoenix isn't even. You are the 7th seed. You're good, and Golden State, you're 5 games below the 9th spot. You don't get a chance. I think that you have to be like within 2 games, 2 to 3 games within the 8th spot to have a chance to play for the 8th spot. But only the 8th spot is up for grabs unless 7 and 8 are tied, like it was in the Eastern Conference. When you have Philly and Orlando finish with the same record. And now you got the Hornets and you got the Heat. See, both of these teams finished within 2 games of 6th or 7th or 8th spot. So I can see there being a flat out play-in scenario for the Eastern Conference because it was so close. But in the West, where Golden State was 8 games under 500, they shouldn't have even had an opportunity to play in. It's not a playoff team. That's just me. I wouldn't even gave Phoenix a chance to lose that 7th seed because I mean you played all season, you got the 7th seed, you have a decent record. That's just me. I don't know, but I won't belabor. I'll get through this because move me back center. I'll get through this because we got about an hour until the playoffs kick off, until they kick off. So I think I want to go. By round. I think I want to go by round. So I wish I had an option to just kind of move them. I'll give my prediction and I'll give amount of games. So let's start in the East. We got Detroit and Orlando. Orlando, to me, they finished 8th. I thought that they underachieved. I picked. I don't think did I do a preseason? I think I did a preseason stream. Hell, that might have been the last stream I did on this channel. Orlando, I thought would have been top 6 easy in the East. I figured Detroit was going to have a really good season. I just based off of what they did last year, I didn't think they were going to finish 1. I thought that would have been New York or maybe Cleveland. You know, it wouldn't fall off too much since they finished 1 last season. But Detroit finishing 1 was a surprise for me. Orlando, they got talent. To me, it's like, I don't know, something's missing. Something's missing. And I really I can't put my finger on it. I think they could get a game. Cade is back. He seems to be healthy, but with Cade being out, it kind of just showed that they have a deep roster. They got some players on that squad that can play basketball. That Dennis Jenkins dude, he can hoop. Jalen Duren is a bona fide star, young star. Even Tobias Harris has been playing pretty good basketball. Detroit is a really good all-around basketball squad. I give Orlando 1 game. I got Detroit in 5. Cavs and Raptors, I'm not even going to lie to you. I don't think I've seen 1 Toronto game this season. Not 1. So I don't know. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt since they finished 5th. And I'm going to say that they can at least get 2 games, but I got Cleveland. I think if James Harden is healthy, if Donovan Mitchell is healthy, you got Jared Allen, you got Evan Mobley, you got other pieces around. Cleveland has a roster that should be able to move far within these postseason. I got Cleveland in 6. again, I'm really going off because I don't know. I know Scotty Barnes has been hooping. Brandon Ingram's been hooping. I don't really know who else they got down there or up there. So I'm going to assume that they can get two, and it could very well go seven. It could be one of those series where it's just like it's back and forth, and because Cleveland got home court, if it ends in a game seven, then I'll go with the home team game seven. But I'm going to say Cleveland in six. Knicks Hawks. Now this is the toss up right here, dog. Atlanta's been playing really good basketball. I know people like to put it on. Oh, they made the move to get Kuminga. I don't think Kuminga had anything to do with it. I think, and he's been playing pretty good basketball now that he's been given a chance to actually get some minutes, get a burn out there, conjure up some sweat, get a lather going. Now the culture changed once they moved off of Trey. For whatever reason, Trey wasn't working in Atlanta. I don't know what it was. He got them to a conference final. When was that? In 21. Thought everything was peaches and cream. Shout out to Peachtree. But it just it didn't work out for him for whatever reason. And I don't know why Atlanta, it seems like they found a hard time putting the right pieces around Trey. Maybe they thought Trey was Steph Curry 2.0, but they really are not the same player at all. Like they can shoot. That's about the same, and they light skinned. And they about 6'1", 6'2". That's about the only similarities Trae Young and Steph Curry has. Steph Curry is way more dangerous without the ball than Trae Young is. So I don't know. I just felt like the culture of the team, the makeup of the team, it just shifted once they got off of Trae. They brought in Kispert. They brought in CJ. Who else did they bring in? They feel like they brought somebody else in. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Broski's been hooping. I thought it was a mistake that Minnesota let him go, but I guess they couldn't afford him. Broski's been hooping. That's Shay's cousin, right? Yeah, bro been hooping. So I I got the Knicks. But I got the Knicks in 7. I think this goes 7 games. But this is a series where I feel like New York could get caught slipping. But I feel like this has to be New York's year. Maybe it's a little foreshadowing, but this has to be the year of the New York Knicks. But I got the Knicks in 7. Celtics and Sixers. This is all really predicated on if Joel can come back. If Joel is back, I think he had appendicitis or something. If Joel is back, I'm sorry, I got a lash in my eye. Jesus Christ. See, this is what happens when you have beautiful lashes. Jesus. Oh my God. If Joel's able to play, if he's healthy enough and he's able to play, you got Maxey, you got Edgecombe, Paul George seems to be healthy. I'm still nervous about Tatum. I know he's been looking good. It seems like he's getting his legs back under him, but I don't know, man. The way Boston's playing right now, they don't need to try to do too much, if that makes sense. Like, Jaylen Brown, to me, has established himself as the number one. I always felt like he was the number one. Jaylen Brown was the guy that they drafted first, right? So they drafted him 3 overall. They drafted Tatum 3 overall. I feel like they look to give Brown the keys, but maybe his personality, maybe his demeanor, his delivery or whatever, it didn't really come off as being very marketable. This lash is getting on my damn nerves. It didn't really come off as being very marketable. So that's why they went to the safer option in Tatum and kind of gave him the keys and the reins to take the team. But with Tatum getting injured, I feel like maybe it was a blessing in disguise. And I don't know if anybody had the Celtics top 6 in the East, let alone 2. I know I didn't. I felt like they were a play-in team at best without Tatum. Everybody's saying, oh, Jason Tatum is the man. He's the number one guy there. Jaylen Brown kind of showed you that. Hey, man, I didn't win this this Eastern Conference Finals MVP and this Finals MVP for no reason at all. Like I'm him, low key. I'm him. So I don't know. Philly on paper, when healthy, can beat anybody in the East. But it's really all about Embiid and if he is healthy enough. So because of that, if Embiid is playing, I still think that the way Boston's playing right now, they'll come out of this series. I'll give Philly 2 games. I say Boston in 6. If Embiid's not playing, then Boston in 5. I give them a game. I think Paul George, Maxey, Edgecombe, those guys can maybe get 1 game in Philly. But if Embiid's playing, and they got to punch his chance, so I'll go Boston and hold up. You say what, bro? It's not highlighted right. Donovan Mitchell being carted off the floor doing warm-ups. If a play showed a snapped leg, it's either torn ACL, Achilles, or MCL, just broken leg. Really? Hold up. If it's gruesome, I'm not gonna play it, but let me see. Let me pull it up real quick. Are you serious? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. In warm-ups? It's on X. Hey man, I feel like you trolling, bro. I feel like you trolling, bro. Why you trolling me, man? I don't see anything about that. Why you trolling me, dog? I recognize a troll when I see one, dog. I'm gonna troll my damn self. Why you trolling me, dog? I don't see that. I don't see anything on X. I feel like that would have popped up on my phone. Oh, why is that? Why is it doing that? Give me a second. Why did it do that? Actually, that's fine. I'll worry about that later. It is what it is. Now you a troll, Philly Mike OG. I appreciate the troll though, and appreciate the engagement. Buster, I don't see it, man. If I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but I don't see it, and I'm all on X right now. Nothing about Donovan Mitchell breaking his leg. You should be worried about Boston right now. That's what you should be worried about, Philly Mike OG. Oh God. Boston is 6. Let's just finish with the East real quick. Where we at? How much time we got? Yeah, let's finish with the East real quick. So we got the Pistons and we got the Cavs. With Donovan Mitchell because I don't think he got a broken leg like Broski said. Get out of here, bro. Philly, not Philly, Detroit and Cleveland. Mm, that's a tough one. That's a tough one, especially if everybody's healthy. And ain't nobody got no broke legs. Um, I'm still gonna go Detroit. I'm gonna go Detroit in 6. I'm gonna go Detroit in 6, but I feel like Cleveland. I mean, Harden. Harden has a history of not really showing up when it counts. It's the postseason. This is the postseason. Like Harden, if you're gonna win a chip, man, you're gonna have to show up. And I know you're not necessarily the man. Is Donovan Mitchell, the man that did not break his leg. Um, but yeah, you're gonna need a little bit more from you. I just don't think that at this stage of James Harden's career, we're gonna get that from him. We didn't get it from him before. I don't think we're gonna get that from him, and because of that, I don't think Cleveland's gonna have enough. You're gonna need some consistent double games from Jared Allen. You're gonna need Evan Mobley to be the number 2 option, so that James Harden can just do what he does from a number 3 options perspective. You don't need James to be the number 2 option. You need Evan has to be that, and if he is that, then Cleveland can beat Detroit. I just don't think we're gonna get that for a consistent playoff series. And Detroit plays really good defense, and they can be physical, and they got bigs that can match up with Cleveland's bigs. So because of that, I got Detroit in 6. I don't think there's anybody on the perimeter that's with Cleveland that can do anything to slow down Cade Cunningham. And on the other side of it, you got Asar Thompson. You got guys that play defense that's on the wings for Detroit that can give Donovan Mitchell fits and make it a little difficult for James Harden. So, Detroit in 6. And then I got New York and Boston. Let's go for the upset. I think it's a repeat of last year. It's just not with the Tatum injury. But I think that it's going to be, I'm going with New York. I'm going with New York over Boston. New York over Boston in 7. I think New York gets it done. I think that they do it on, what is it, TD Garden? Is it the TD Garden? Boston Garden? I think they do it in Boston. I got New York in 7. I think this is the series that Tatum is going to try to kind of reassert himself as the guy, and there's going to be a slight bit of conflict. There's going to be an identity crisis because they've been flourishing all season with JB running the show with the keys and the driver's seat, and we're going to see Tatum be a bit more aggressive because this is the team that he got injured against last year, so it's going to be a bit taboo, and I think he's going to try to get it back. He's going to try to redeem himself, but I think he's going to do a little too much. So I think New York, I think this is their chance. So I got New York and Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think it's going to be a really, really good series, good physical series. It's a throwback series, Detroit and New York. But to me, I got the Knicks. I think this is the Knicks' year. The last couple seasons, they've been right there on the cuff. They got to the conference finals last year before last. Should have got to the conference finals. Indiana was their Achilles heel and got to worry about that. No pun intended. Shout out to Tyrese. But I think this is the year. I got New York in 6 against Detroit. Detroit is a season and maybe one more piece away. They're a season and maybe one more piece away. I just don't know what that piece looks like. But this experience, I think Detroit gets to the conference finals. I think this is as far as they go. But I got New York coming out of the East. New York in 6 against Detroit. All right. The Western Conference is a bit more complicated, especially around the conference semifinals. And, well, first round too. So I know my picks are going to be not, they're not going to be popular picks. You can call them hot takes. Thunder, Suns. I feel like the way Jalen Green is playing, I feel like they might be able to steal a game. I want to say Thunder in 4, but I feel like Phoenix can steal a game. Jalen Green has been playing really good basketball. The last 2 games, these 2 play-in games, it's been Jalen Green. Even the game against Portland, he had 35, I think. If he's continuously playing the way he's playing, and Book is going to do what he does, Dylan Brooks is going to give you some key shots and be a pest like he always is. Phoenix overachieved this year anyway. I don't think anybody had them finishing with the record that they finished and that was without Jalen Green for the a bulk of the season. So I got the Thunder in 5. I got the Thunder in 5. Lakers Rockets, that looks a little bit like an even matchup, 4-5 matchup. You would think that it is, but no, it's not. AR is not playing. Luka's not playing. AR is definitely not going to play this series. They're saying that Luka might. What is Luka got the hamstring? I don't see it. I don't think Luka comes back. If they're able to get out of the first round, Luka might come back. AR may not play at all. With the I think he has an oblique injury. AR may not play at all. But I don't see the Lakers getting out of the first round with Bron. 41-year-old Bron is expected to turn back the hands of time and revert back to 2018 Bron or 2014 Bron, or it's not gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Too old, man. Like 23 years, dog. I mean, you can't. Come on, dog. It's not gonna happen, dog. It's not. Houston in 5. Houston in 5. If Luka can come back, I don't think he'll be completely healthy. But if he comes back, I still got Houston in 6. Lakers got the first 2 at home. Houston's gonna get one of them. I don't know if they get game 1 because I think LA's gonna come out with a lot of energy tonight. They play tonight. They're gonna come out with a lot of energy. So the Lakers might win game 1, but I think Houston might take game 2, and then both games at home, and then go back to LA and win game 5. But if not, then I'll still go Houston in 6. So we'll give Bron the benefit of the doubt. We'll say Houston in 6. Now here's my toss-up one. Everybody's talking about why the Spurs didn't, I guess, really take the last game of the season serious, where they had Denver and they were playing against their backups basically, and they kind of tricked that game off, and they kept Denver at the 3 seed instead of dropping them to the 4 seed, and they could have had the Lakers on that side of the bracket instead of the Nuggets on that side of the bracket. Everybody is saying why they did that. The Nuggets is the biggest threat, whatever. And everybody seems to be just glossing over the Timberwolves. I can't gloss over the Timberwolves, dog. I just can't. I got the Wolves in 6, man. I got the Wolves in 6. Fuck it. I got the Wolves in 6. I think this is going to be the biggest upset. Everybody's like, yo, no. Jokic, triple-double. He led the season, led the league in rebounds and assists, right? The first player to ever do that. I don't know. I feel like Ant-Man, the last 2 seasons, Minnesota's gotten to the conference finals. And maybe not last year because OKC was OKC. They was just bound to get there. But the year prior when they played Dallas, there's no way they should have went out the way that they did, man. No way. I think they right the ship. I'm not saying they're gonna get to the finals this year, but I think they beat Denver, man. I mean, just think 2 short years ago they had the series, went 7, and it was back and forth. Nobody could win at home. Right? Denver had the home court advantage. Minnesota won the first 2 in Denver, then went home, and Denver won those 2 in Minnesota, and then went back to Denver. And then finally, Denver won game 5, if I'm not mistaken. And then Minnesota went back to Minnesota, won game 6. And then game 7 in Denver, Minnesota came back, right? Because they was losing big, I think, in that game. Down 20, I think, at one point. Came back and won that game in the series in 7 in Denver. Now, Denver overall may be a little bit of a better team now. Jokic may be a little bit of a better player now than 2 years ago. I think Ant is a better player now than 2 years ago also. I like this squad. Julius Randle is going to be he's going to be the key. Julius we need 22, at least 22 from Julius all series. 22 and 10, no less than. Rudy is going to have to contribute a little bit offensively. Naz Reid is going to be the X factor, I think, for them. Because when you put Naz Reid out there instead of Rudy and you have Nas and Julius playing together, makes it a little bit difficult for Jokic to just dominate in anybody on the perimeter. If you have um, Jamal Murray in the pick and roll, and you get a switch with Rudy out there. Rudy is a great defender around the rim, but he's chopped liver in the perimeter. So kind of he got played off the floor the last time they met in the playoffs, and you had Cat and Nas out there at that time. And when Cat and Nas played together, they actually looked better defensively. So, but I got the Wolves. I got the Wolves in 6, man. I got the Wolves. It's 6 or 7, but I'm picking Minnesota to beat Denver. I know that's crazy, but I'm picking them to beat Denver. Spurs Blazers. Shout out to Denny Advia. Blazers are going to be a team to look out for maybe next year because they got some. They've shown Denny has shown that he's a guy that can play for a contending team and contribute like a good second or third option for a contending team. We're gonna see what they're gonna look like next year. They get Dame back and put Dame with that squad. Shout out to Drew Holiday. But I got the Spurs. I got the Spurs in. I got the Spurs in 5. I got the Spurs in 5. Go back up to the top. We got the Thunder and the Rockets. Nice series. KD against his old squad. I just don't think Houston has enough. Now, if they was full strength, if you got Van Vliet, you got your point. That's something that they've been missing all season long. Is a solid point guard, scoring point guard, but can't facilitate. I don't think that Houston would have enough. I think they'll get a couple games though. Got the Thunder in 6 against Houston. Thunder in 6. I got the Timberwolves and the Spurs. Ain't no way Timberwolves beating the Nuggets. Hey, man. I got them beating them. Timberwolves Spurs. It's going to be a very compelling series. I think everything is about matchups here. So I think the matchup with the Wolves and the Nuggets, I just feel like the Wolves match up well against Denver. A team like the Spurs, where you have Wemby, yes, you do. But I don't think that they would match up well against Denver. I feel like if Denver and San Antonio matched up against each other, that would be a difficult matchup for San Antonio. I think that if it's the Nuggets and OKC, I think that's a difficult matchup for Denver. And I think if it's the Spurs and the Thunder, I think that's a difficult matchup for the Thunder. So it's just, it's all about matchups when it comes to the playoffs. Minnesota, San Antonio. I'm gonna give the edge to San Antonio. I got the Spurs in. Got the Spurs in 7 against Minnesota. Spurs in 7. Spurs in 7. And I'm gonna change that. Minnesota Nuggets. I got the Wolves in 7. I'll give it 7-game series. Similar to 2 years ago. 7-game. But I got the Wolves. And I got the Spurs over the Wolves in 7. So that's Thunder and Spurs. I think that Thunder Spurs would be a hell of a series. And the Spurs have looked really, really good against OKC all season long. But it's the playoffs, baby. Like, ain't nobody really been. This is Wemby's first run in the playoffs. Like, how much playoff experience is over there in San Antonio? Harrison Barnes, Swiper, not Swiper. Yeah, Swiper. I'm thinking Spider. See, this dude got me, got Donovan Mitchell on my brain. De'Aaron Fox, Luke Cornett. I'm going Thunder in 6. Thunder in 6 against the Spurs. Thunder in 6. So I wish that I could like pick and have it so that you can see. but just envision. So my finals pick is the Knicks out of the East and the Thunder out of the West. And Thunder repeat. Thunder in 6. They win in New York on the road. And it's another historic year for Shea. Shea wins Finals MVP. I got Shea winning Western Conference Finals MVP and Jalen Brunson winning Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Thunder Knicks. Those are my picks. Thunder Knicks Finals. Thunder in 6. I could be wrong, and I probably will be, but I just feel like this is New York's year to at least get out of the East. Not sure if they'll ever win a championship with the squad the way it's configured. Just because I think that there is really difficult to have a guy that is Brunson's size be your best player. Like I feel like Jalen Brunson should be like the number 2 option on a championship team. That's just my opinion. How long have we been streaming? About 40. That's why I said it was gonna be about a 45-minute long stream. Shout out to everybody that pulled up to the stream that kind of poked their head in and out of the stream. Everybody that will watch the stream on the playback. And we'll revisit this as the playoffs is going and see if my picks have come to fruition or not. And shout out to Philly Mike OG. I should ban you, dude. No, shout out to the troll Philly Mike OG for making me think that this man blew his leg in half. I listen, man. I can respect the troll when I see one. I am a troll. Real quick, if you're not subscribed to my other channels, I think they are in the description. Let me double check and make sure that I put them in the description. You should subscribe to my other channels, Crisco Fontaine Live. I be over there more than anything else. It's more reactions of basic stuff that's not sports, pop culture, trending stuff. Go subscribe to that channel. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button before you leave. Please and thank you, because I got to get back active over here. Just been sitting dormant, so I want to do more breakdowns. I might just limit the breakdowns to short form, maybe. I don't know. I kind of like to do live breakdowns, so might do some live breakdowns. I might open up the floor, as people come through and they might want to chop it up with me about different things. Want to open it up to more than just basketball also. So moving forward, I kind of want to reconstruct the channel to be more than just basketball. Because, I watch football too. I watch boxing. I watch wrestling. I watch a little bit of everything when it comes to sports. So moving forward, I might try to open it up to be a broader array of sport talk. Especially when the NFL season starts back. My Falcons, we got to see what they're going to do. I'm in the DFW, so it's a lot of diehard Cowboy fans around me, and I feel for them, just as much as I feel for my fellow Falcon fans. So be on the lookout for all of that. I do appreciate the support and anybody and everybody that pulled up to the stream today. Go get you some alcoholic beverages. If you don't drink, then go get you some herbal essence. If you don't do that, then just kick back on the couch with your water, your sparkling water, your Canadian Clear. Get you some popcorn, hot dogs, cook you a steak or whatever, and enjoy basketball today. If you watch wrestling, enjoy WrestleMania tonight and tomorrow night. I do appreciate you again for pulling up. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button before you leave. It's good for the algorithm. And hit the subscribe button if you're new, and bells. Hit that also so you get notifications when we go live and when we upload over here. All right. So I appreciate you. I just have to say it. I appreciate you. Anybody that pulled up, because you don't have to be here. You chose to, so I appreciate you. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. See you on the next one. Peace.